So my PSP started to make strange noises. So let's hear it out. So yeah, I'm not sure what this is about, so let's explore and try to sort it out. So firstly, I will try to see if by moving the laser these noises will be showing up, which they don't. So I'm assuming this must be either the UMD that is not good or the UMD rotor that is failing somehow. So let's try a different UMD. The other one was GTA Vice City. This is the Liberty City Stories, and see if the noise remains. As you could see, it still does remain, so the issue is with the console, not with the UMD. So let's turn it off and start to disassemble. So we need to take out the battery. This is still the original one. It's almost 20 years old. And we start to remove all the Phillips screws that are around the console case. And then we remove the top cover, that is the side of the screen. Put it aside, and then we remove the bar that has all the buttons. We need to pry it up and then lift it from left to the right, and then remove the little connector on the sideboard. In order to remove the screen, we need to pry it on the side because there is a connection, a metal connection that needs to be removed, like a clip, and then we need to pry it up and then do the same on the other side until it's fully released. If yours is an original one and was never opened, this screen will be glued to the frame, so be careful with that. Once the screen is loose, we need to remove the connectors from the main board by lifting up the little flaps on the connectors. Then we continue to remove Phillips screws that are on this frame. And we lift the frame up to release it from the case. We also need to open the UMD drive because it is secured to this frame on this model. Then we remove the little cable that is connected to the laser by just pulling the tabs to the outside. To remove the buttons on the left side, we need to remove one Phillips screw and then release the connector from the board as well. And to take the right side top shoulder button, it's just a matter of lifting the little metal and then pry up the small board that connects to the main board, and then just pry it out. We also need to remove the speakers that are connected to the main board. Once that is done, we just need to remove this little cable that is connected to the UMD reader and the power connector to the board. We then remove the Phillips screw that holds the board in place and then pry it up. The antenna cable needs to be pushed to the side so that no damage is done to the Wi-Fi antenna. And this is the loose board. And we continue to remove the Phillips screws that are on the frame below. And we remove the Phillips screw that holds the plastic holder for this below frame, so we can then lift up this same frame. Then we need to remove this board that is where the sound and the memory card go in, and also the Wi-Fi antenna is connected to the Wi-Fi model. We now take out the power button that is attached to the Wi-Fi antenna, and to remove the cover from the UMD we just need to pry it to the side on the right side and pull it out. To remove the UMD we just need to take out these 4 Phillips screws and then pull it up. It is secured in place by rubber where the screws go. Be careful not to touch the laser because it has some mirrors that if are dirty then it will not read the UMDs properly. To remove this lid for the UMD we just need to pry it out and pull it up. This will reveal the motor and the laser assembly. Now, I'm assuming that the noise may come from the gears, so we will need to put a bit of grease on the gears. Let's firstly clean everything with isopropyl alcohol, because this was never cleaned ever since I bought it in 2005. With the cleaning with the alcohol done, let's apply a bit of grease. I'm using Vaseline, which is basically the same as the gear grease that is usually used on these devices. So the UMD goes here. Let's see if it gets dirty from the grease that we've just placed. Hopefully not. It is magnetic, I didn't know that, so you need to pull it a bit for it to release. So with the cleaning and greasing done, let's start to reassemble the console back to test if the sound is still here or not. So I was reading somewhere, I removed all the screws again from the UMD with the console assembled, and apparently the motors are the ones that do the squeak, not the gears. So we need to grease up the motors on the inside and this little gear that is moving the laser up and down. So let's apply a bit of grease on this gear over here and then on the motor that runs it. So I'm greasing up the gears anyway, but I've read that the motor needs to be oiled on the inside, and the only way to do that is on the top part over here. So instead of using oil, because the oil may be conductive, I will use silicone grease in spray. And this is non-conductive, so it's safer to use. So what I'll do is I'll soak a little this cotton swab and then just rub it on the motor top part to see if it may enter the insides of the motor so it stops squeaking, and then we'll see if that works. I will also apply this on the laser assembly where it goes up and down to make sure it runs smoothly. So let's just clean the laser, just in case I sprayed it with this silicone grease with some isopropyl alcohol. And let's do a quick test to see if we still have the issue with the squeaking of the UMD drive. And yes, we still do, as you can see on my face. I'm not so happy about it. So let's try with the spray to soak a bit more of this cotton swab, and then we will do it again and see if that works. Here I'm applying as well on this area of the laser assembly. And let's test with the UMD and see what happens. I just turned the Psp on. So yeah, it's loading, and I believe we fixed it. So there's no more noises coming from the UMD drive, which is great. Yeah, as you can see, it's loading. By this time it should have already been doing a lot of noise. So this one is fixed. So let's put it back together. So my battery is dead and the console doesn't want to start up. So let's just remove the battery and work with only the power plug on it. And we'll do a quick test to see how it runs. So it's perfect. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, just like so, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Have a good one and see you on the next video.